Good afternoon, chat. Yeah, dude, the nicknames are gone now. It's just the usernames again. Look, crisscross applesauce, tectonic. Why did it go back? Dominic Mysterio's in the chat. Oxtail, Lomain, Beebs, Crypto Meowsis, Night of Insomnia, Aloe Sala. Ultra processed foods is trash. Took 4 months off the market. Looks like I didn't miss much, but you're losing weight. Dude, I've been the same way for a little while now. Boosted Stangs in the chat. You think we'll get 100 viewers in under 5 minutes? We might. 87. My username is usually RSK. Yeah, I don't know why my YouTube channel sometimes it makes the usernames change. Duquan trial December 11th. Really? Is that really where it is? How'd they not put that guy in prison yet? Wow. Imagine he gets pardoned by Trump and then Luna Classic goes all the way back up. The one is in the chat. Every time we get over 300 bogeys, it goes straight down. Yeah, we're not gonna get 300 viewers today. Maybe maybe 200 if we're lucky. Are altcoins really gonna die? Well, when this bounce comes, a lot of them are gonna triple, and then they'll die. The problem is everyone's gonna keep trying to buy the bottom, trying to time the bounce, and it just keeps making new lows. So, but at some point there's gonna be a big giant bounce for the alt market, and then that's it. Everything goes to zero, it looks like. All in fart coin. Good luck. Good luck, my man. Globs of mayo and Wonder Bread. Do you think fart coin could triple if it goes to 100K? I mean, Fartcoin would be one of the good coins, but how do you know some whale doesn't just dump it all the way down to 16 first? Then a 3x is basically back to where it was a month ago, you know? Like I said before, people are going to keep trying to buy the bottom, hoping it's the bottom, and by the time you get the 3x, it's back to where it was when you bought it. So... But I do think Farcoin will be a good point, a good pick, yeah. Unless somebody nukes it down below 17. But you got to understand that Farcoin is still up so much from November. The rest of the market is down here. I'm gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what's up, man. Just go live life. This crypto shit isn't what it once was. I've accepted it. Pepe? Yeah, Pepe as well. But they all have the same chart. They have this giant wick sticking out that I feel like has to get tagged. Like, you know, I think we got to come down here. And then maybe that's the bounce. Yeah, I was gonna say you never came back to fill this wick, but we just did. You just did now, baby. But yeah, it looks like Pepe's pulling one of these, man. So it's possible that Pepe comes down to 30 and then bounces back up to like 60. How do we delete some coins? You can't. There's only going to be more. More and more. Did Mog get the wick? I think so. I think every coin did, no? Yeah. 18 for Mog. Fireman for 2 says, I got in Pepe at 420. Pray for me. I appreciate it too. Good luck. You're trying to time the bottom on something that might not have a bottom. But good luck, man. I'd have to say bearish below 47, bearish below 52. If it gets over 52, you could have a bottom. But there's a good chance it comes down to fill this wick first. Before the bounce. I appreciate it too, big boy. I also pivoted because you're right, DCA into alts doesn't work. Yeah, but you don't want to DCA into Bitcoin now and when it's going down. If I were going to DCA into, if I were a millionaire and I were going to DCA into Bitcoin, I wouldn't even start until it falls below 65K. Maybe even 55K. But I don't do DCA. Obviously, in the long run, if I would have, I'd be in a better spot. But, like, you can't say shoulda, coulda, woulda. If I would have just sold, I would have been in a better spot, too. So, I don't believe in DCA, honestly. But if I did, I would wait until we break below 60K and then I'd probably start DCAing. Because then at least I know I'm guaranteed to double my money. Coin under 90, we're buying. Yeah, I'm starting to get worried that Coinbase might not fall as low as I thought because I think the only reason Coinbase fell so hard was because the stock market also fell. But I'm starting to think the stock market's not going to fall like people think it is. We might have a 2017, we might have a 2018 bear market, which I guess at some point that means it will fall. But I think we're doing this, man. We might not fall the way people think. I hope it does, but oh, it's like this actually. You know, and this like lines up with Bitcoin bottoming here. I think, and this is just speculation. I'm not saying this is my prediction, but if the S&P doesn't start falling in January, I don't think it's going to fall. I think it's going to do like chop, you know, because you got to remember in 2015, the shit didn't even go down. It just chopped around for 3 years. So I hope the S&P goes down, but if it doesn't, then Coinbase is not going to fall as bad. Because you can see Bitcoin is almost back at the low, but Coinbase is higher up. And I think that's because SPY didn't fall. But if SPY does fall, then Coinbase will come down. MOG is going back up regardless. That's not guaranteed, man. That's what we thought about Shiba. I think MOG is the next Shiba. There's no guarantees. That's what I learned last time. There is no guarantees that the coins you're holding right now are even going to exist next market cycle. Look at fucking Avalanche. Remember how everyone was shilling Avalanche because of the gaming? Dude, Avalanche is going to take out the low from 2023. I'm calling it now. It's absolute. It's going to be bad, man. These bear market, yeah, 100% it's going to take out that low. These coins are all vaporware. I would buy Avalanche at $4. Might as well just take a stab at it. But that sounds really bizarre to even say. But like if it's a bear market, AVAX is already at $13. We still have another 50% to go down. Remember what we talked about yesterday? The first move down, the bottom is usually half of that. So if we bottom at 80K, then 40K should be the bottom, which I think is fair. I don't really think we're going to go below 40K. I mean, I'm not saying that 80K is the bottom. I'm just saying that normally the first leg down, the bottom is like halfway, is half of that. So wherever we end up bottoming, the bottom should be 50% of that. So if the bottom is 80K, then it should be 50% should be 40K, roughly. Which I think 80K, I thought 80K would hold. I'm surprised we went down that fast. I was looking for 80K to be the bottom, but I don't know if it is. The reason I say that is because you've never broken the Gaussian channel on the first try. So if we just break through it, then the bottom might be lower. The bottom might be in the 30s. If Bitcoin goes back into the 30s, then I guess I might just buy Bitcoin, man. You know, like a 30K Bitcoin is the last time you could probably get a full coin if you're poor like me. But I don't know if it's gonna go that low. It might be too low, honestly. It depends how high the bounce is. We got a lot to talk about today. We got 2 hours of content, so We almost got 200 viewers. That's nice. Welcome to the stream. Lately, you look at strategy. If you overlaps last cycle, bounce should come now. Yeah, that's what it says, but you can't assume that it's going to look the exact same. I do think there should be a bounce in the next 2 to 3 weeks, but you can't assume it's going to look the exact same. I highly doubt it's going to do a double bottom too. I'm not 100% confident in MicroStrategy because you guys got to remember that all of those instruments that they made didn't exist back here. Now, unless someone can explain them to me, I was looking at Michael Saylor's tweet today. Apparently they made like 4 instruments. If someone could explain that to me, that would be really nice. But apparently they raised money to buy Bitcoin with those. I don't know if that's true. It says, here, let me just show you this. Can someone explain this to me? Stark, Starf, Starred, and Stark again, and Stray. We launched Stretch, a revolutionary treasury credit instrument. Like, you guys don't think that this could be the implosion of MicroStrategy if it goes down far enough? Since we didn't have a great bull, probably not a great bear. Yeah, that's what Ben Cohen is saying, but I don't agree with that because there was no euphoria back here. It was fucking terrible. Half the coins didn't even go up. We did get euphoria. It was right here. It wasn't real euphoria. I can't really say the bottom is going to be 60K because we're doing exactly what we always do. So it's like, how could we say the bottom is going to be not that bad when the first move down is exactly what it always does? You go to the middle of the channel. That's exactly where we are right now. And I don't even know if that's going to hold. I hope it does. But if it doesn't, then babushka, I don't know where the bottom is. It's going to just go to 0. But even if you measure it from the bottoms, you can see that the bottoms are getting closer together. So if you look at this bottom was only 400% apart. So 200% is 47K. I think that's fair, man. 40 to 50K should be the bottom. Because this bottom here was 1700%. But this bottom was like 40x. Oh my God, 80x. So it's clearly shrinking. You could even argue divisible by 4 almost. Because you went from 8 to 17 to 4. So what goes into 4 times? 1? Yeah, 30K. I don't think it's going that low. 30K is too low. But then if you do the same thing from the top and you measure it from the top, like, dude, 40K is 67%. That would be the steepest. No, that would be the shallowest bear market if we only went down 67%. But even that's 40K. And like I said before, if the bottom is in at 80K, usually the first move down is 50% from the bottom or more. But this one was not even. This one was 52%. Again, it's not like I'm just making the shit up. That's what it is. And I think the fact that it fits the narrative of the shrinking bear markets, I think 40 to 50K could be the bottom. I mean, I don't care where the bottom is for the price, honestly. I learned less. The price shit is what hurts a lot of people, man. The time is more important. Shortest bear market in history? I don't think so, but if you really think about it, once Christmas is over, there's only 8 months, there's like 9 months left of the bear market. You know? Don Beats says, even you're bearish. I'm taking a 2 month break. Yeah, when you got to take a break, that's how you know it's bearish. Bro, listen, let's be honest. You know it's fucking bearish when you got to take a break. How many breaks did we take this year because it was so bearish? This is not bullish price action. No one ever took a break. We started taking breaks in the summer of 2024 because that was when it started getting bearish. Tom Lee says this drop was due to a glitch. MicroStrategy may not exist next cycle. Look at the COVID crash compared to where we are. It may shock you. The answer may shock you. All right. So we did go down to 80K. That was what I didn't call for 80K, but that's what I wanted. I wanted us to go down to 80K so I could finally accept that it's over. So now we can construct, I'll be honest, chat, I'm ready to construct our new chart. I am. So this was our original chart. For those of you that have been here for a long time, you know what this chart is. We made this chart in 2023. It worked out perfectly for us. Well, it wasn't perfect, but it did say you must exit January of 2025. I didn't listen, so I lost everything. But obviously, if you held Bitcoin, you did very well, and the chart didn't work. But you know what? You know what honestly worked perfectly? MicroStrategy. It said you must exit by January. And honestly, once we entered the blue box, MicroStrategy just started going vertical. So we're going to build another one starting today. We're going to put it to rest though, because ultimately it was a failed experiment. It was almost correct, but it was ultimately a failed experiment. So what I would like to do today is begin building a new game plan. And it starts today. So we're going to use the Bitcoin index, another chart, again, another freaking chart, you know. Obviously for Bitcoin, the top wasn't in Q1, but everything else. Another chart to retire. So let us see. I like the Gaussian channel, I do. Yeah, see, dude, even the Gaussian channel on the monthly says the bottom could be there. 2015, 2019, 2022. And guess where it is? It's like 40 to 50K. I really think the bottom is going to be here somewhere. I do. I do. I do 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 do. Yeah, I think the bottom is going to be like 30 to 40K. Not 30K, sorry. Like somewhere in this vicinity. But I do like the Gaussian channel. Yeah, I like chat. There's a chance that 80K. I'm not saying I'm not calling the bottom. I'm not. I did that. I'm not doing that shit. I'm just showing you the data. But it's like really rare for us to go any lower on the first try. We really should be looking, we should form a bottom soon. Because it's very rare you break the Gaussian channel on the first try. And I really hope we don't, because I need the Gaussian channel to make my next move. And I need it to hold. And this is just the perfect area to bottom, because if we bottom here, everyone's going to be saying, "Oh, this isn't a bear market because it's not big enough." Even though when we were up here, the Moon Boys were saying, "Well, this is the smallest correction." Now it's now it's the largest correction. So I think this is the perfect spot for a bull trap. And I don't say that like I'm not a bull or a bear. I just want to try and get some momentum for my next move. Like I hope people make money. I'm not a bear or I'm not a bull. I mean I'm always going to be a moon boy at heart, but like I'm not rooting for people to fail. I hope everyone finds a way to not have harm, but that's not possible. It's not how money works. But I hope the bottom is in soon, because when the 2 week Gaussian channel breaks, it's time to start shorting heavy. And it's like, if this fails, yeah, see, even in 2014 that it worked. If this fails, then I'm gonna be screwed because I don't know what to do. That's why I hope we bounce. I hope maybe we go a little lower. Same thing with the weekly, like we're right on the low. So I kind of need this shit to hold. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But let me change the color here. I like the color that I was using on my other channel. So let's see. Let's build our chart, shall we? So first off, we're under the assumption that the top is in. So if you're a moon boy, you know, I get it. Trust me, I'm a moon boy too. But we're under the assumption that the top is in. So if that's true, the people who called the top, congratulations. Very nice call. Unfortunately, as always, I was not one of them, but I will never be, so I'm okay with that. Because you have to remember that I am not an analyst. I'm just here to extract liquidity and leave. But unfortunately, I just can't seem to leave, and all of my liquidity gets extracted, so I'm just Wojak. That's reality. So historically, you can see the markets are as follows: 406, 364, 371. So if it is indeed a bear market, we could speculate that 300, let's just say 400 days. Why not? We could speculate that 400 days from now, the bull run will begin again, which is good. That means before Christmas of next year. But that's not what this chart is. The Gaussian channel does not flash red until 168 days before the bottom. 42 days before the bottom. 28 days before the bottom. So that's not even a consistent indicator. Damn. I really was hoping there was a pattern here. Oh, because the bottom here was so far away. What about this? How far this might work. How far away from the capitulation is the flash? The capitulation low. Let's try that. 28 days. 42 days. 28 days. Oh, okay. So there's a chance that if the Gaussian channel flashes red 100% of the time, we go straight down within 40 days. Interesting. Didn't work in 2011, but this was the first market cycle, so I can't really blame it. All right, so there's a possibility here that when the Gaussian channel flashes red, you're about to go straight down for the next 60 days. So I can't come on here saying I know what the bear market is going to look like, because I don't even know what the bull market looks like. But how many days from the initial bottom is the move down? 154 days. No, wait. This is confusing me. It flashes red. That's what I meant. So how many days from the red flash is the initial bottom? What's the initial bottom here? This? Or this? We'll use this for now. 266. This one's 154. This one is 280. So what's 200 days from now? June of 2026. The reason why this is so important to figure out is because when you're a moon boy, it's very hard to go short. But like I'm trying to change my brain to where the only time I really made any money this market cycle was when we just went straight up. It was like impossible to not make money. So I'm trying to reverse engineer my mind to where this is, I think this is what we're about to get, just bearish. So let me get rid of this. So essentially, we just sat through this, but it was red. And the sentiment is the same, it's just in the other direction. I'm going to explain to you why I know that's true. The daily RSI is extremely low right now. And we're like in denial that it's bearish, right? So it's like, it has to bounce because it's so oversold. But look at how oversold we are. The last time we were this oversold was 2023. But if you look at the beginning of the bull market, look at how overbought it was. The last time you were this overbought was the top of the bull market. And not everyone, but like the bears were in denial that this is the start of the bull run. And there was no pullback. I mean, of course, at some point there was a pullback, but that RSI peak wasn't even the top. We went higher. So the reason this is so relevant is because The daily RSI is doing the same thing. It's just in the other direction now. It's on the bottom. And you just broke the same exact indicators that turned it bullish, but now we turned it bearish. You don't think that's kind of interesting? I do. Pi cycle sucks. We don't need that. That's why I think there's so many people that don't want to accept it. I don't even want to accept it, dude. Part of my heart just says, please just blast up, but I have to, it's not. There's just too many bull market supports that are just slashed. They don't even exist anymore. They're gone. But this is what I'm referring to. So you see how we had the initial move up and nobody wanted to believe it was bullish. And then we broke the bull markets, we broke the bear market resistance and the daily RSI was overbought. We just did that on the other in the other direction. So essentially I think we're here, but we're upside down. And you see how we hit the top of the Gaussian channel and we just did nothing? That's what I think should happen. We should do nothing now. And if we just coincidentally do nothing until March or April, just like here, you did nothing until October, it's always sell in May, go away. And the summer always sucks. So the reason I'm spending time on this is because I didn't even make any money until this window. Because it was like, you just have to buy something and you made money. I want to try and find the other direction of that, where it's like you just short something. And even if this isn't the bottom, it's not going to matter because this is like August of 2026. The bottom would be right here. The bull run's like 3 months away from that. So you do the same, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to reconstruct my brain to where it's like just be a moon boy, but to the downside. But even if you were a moon boy in 2023, you got decimated until October. How do I know that? Look at Avalanche. Brother, Avalanche made a new fucking low. Oh my God, look. The bottom was here for Bitcoin and Avalanche made a new low the whole year. There was only a small window where everyone made money. Very small freaking window, man. So what we need to do is just find that same small window, but to the downside. And then you just do nothing. Crypto is not what it once was. You can't just buy in and hold anymore. But there's a little window where everyone makes money. Same thing on the downside. But the people that just short everything lose everything, just like when the people who buy everything lose everything. But the bear market is the same thing. Look, using Avalanche is the same coin. Like, yeah, if you didn't sell the top, you got hosed, but like you kind of like you could still kind of say, "Yo, this is still bullish, chat." You know? Cuz like it's been $95 for 5 months. And like that's why if we're here, a lot of people will still say it is a bull market because it still looks bullish. But that's why I'm saying I need Bitcoin to hold because if it does, you're doing the same exact thing as last time. And I'm going to show you a chart that if you're a moon boy, just close your eyes or leave the stream because it's going to make you sell. Brother, if you look at Solana, I shit you not, it's doing the exact same thing. And it's scary. Like, it's the same price, it's the same month. It's fucked up. Excuse my language. This is my ultimate bear chart. Look. So the rug pull on Solana didn't even happen until the spring. So essentially, we're like here somewhere. So like this is the giant neckline. Here, let me show it to you. Let me push my bearish propaganda. So this is the giant neckline for Solana. You have the shoulder here. You have the head here. Then you have another shoulder here. And then it goes straight down. And then the bottom is like the capitulation in the springtime. We didn't get that yet. But look at the month. December of 2021. And then you look at where we are now. And you look at Solana. And it's oh my gosh, this chart is so old. Do you guys remember when I used to have the background like this with the fucking squares? Wow, this chart is old. If you look at Solana doing the same thing, here's the neckline again. How come when I move this, it's not synced up? Let me go back to my other overlay here. Hold on. I think I already have it drawn. DC Woodworks for 2 says this is a tough market to navigate. I appreciate the 2. Yeah, it is, but that's why I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. Because like I said, I know I said the top was in Q1 and that was incorrect, but our Moonboy chart was pretty easy to navigate. It became hard to navigate once Q1 ended because it said it was supposed to be bearish. And Bitcoin wasn't, but everything else was. So I'm trying to basically do the same thing now, but just bearish, to where it's like you just don't do anything, and then when it's maximum bearish, we're basically looking for October of 2023, but for the bear version, which I think is going to be April of next year. I appreciate it too, but it is, and I'm not a freaking trader expert, so I'm not gonna come on here pretending to know exactly what's gonna happen. But unfortunately, this is where we're at because we blundered. But I know my life is not gonna end this way, and I gotta do what I gotta do to get out of here. So if this is what I have to do, then this is what I have to do. But I want to show you guys the Solana chart. Oh, I already posted it. What am I doing? This is why I need a Discord, because I can make charts and just post them. Look at this bearish rubbish. Ready? Hold your nose. Close your eyes. Say your prayers. Yeah, it's right here. I already made it. Look. Look at this dude. This is 2021. And this is now. And look at the date, brother. This is December of 2021. And it's falling to the neckline, just like we are right now in December of 20, whatever year we're in. So that means if we're doing the same thing, we're going to get a big bounce in January-ish. Everybody's going to get super excited. And then we're going to break the neckline. And then Solana's going to go all the way down to like 70 bucks. Isn't it? I'm not saying it has to play out. I don't know. But it's not the exact same. There's no question. But it's pretty scary that it's almost... Like, I can't even tell where we are. If I look at this, I think this is where we're at. But it's this one. This one looks more bearish, doesn't it? This one, I think, looks more bearish than this. And the thing that's scary is, like, if you look at where the green box is, that's the support. That's literally it's the same price. Oh, you can't see it. I mean, you can, but I can't zoom in. You see how it says Sol USD 136? That's where we are now. But it's connected to this green box on the top. That means that we're doing the same exact thing again. So for me, it's like, oh man. It's almost like we have to bottom right now to be bearish. And it's like in my stomach, it's like, oh my God, we're going to the moon. But how many times have we said that as a joke? Every single day, man. Every day the bottom is in. Yesterday, didn't I end my stream yesterday and we were bouncing? And then I said, we'll see where we're at tomorrow. And now we're down here. Every day I end my stream, we bounce. And then the next stream, we're even lower than we were the day before. And it's been that way for over a month. Well, not over a month, sorry. Like, we'll say for 2 weeks we've been paying attention to this. So, like, I understand the Moon Boy hopium. Like, I am the biggest Moon Boy in history. But I have to just, like, come on, you have to see it. We've broken every bull market support that there is. There is no more bull market support. Like, you're actually on bear market support right now. I'm going to be pissed if we go down. I need this Gaussian channel to hold because it always holds. So if we break down, it's going to be like the three blind mice. Where are we? I don't know. If we hold here, then I know, I don't want to say I know, but I can speculate that we're in here. So I have an opportunity to form a plan. But if we just go straight down, I'm going to be like, I don't know what to do. Where do I go? That's why I need us to bottom right now. Or like maybe we go a little bit lower. What I would love is another big wick to like 77 and then the bottom is in. And then the candle closes here. And then we float around. Because I already know once we bounce, there's going to be so much FOMO. Oh my God, oh my God. And there is, because the altcoins are going to do like 3Xs. It's true. That's why the people that are holding their Doge, I'll be honest, there's actually a chance Doge pops one more time. You know? Like it might bounce one more time back to 19 cents. And then if it gets stuck, that's it. That's when it goes down to 5 cents. Because if Doge ends up going back to 22 cents, this is a 70% drawdown. That's why I think 5 cents could be the bottom. Because this move down was also 70% chat. And it's like, look, you had a big giant wick, you came down and filled it, and then you spiked. So we're getting close to the bottom of the wick here. So I think there may be a spike. I have to prepare. That's why I hope it holds, because I have to prepare myself. Don't FOMO in, don't FOMO in. Because we came to the bear market support. Now is where the FOMO comes in. Because you're going to have people saying, yo, this shit is going back up. Like YouTubers are going to be saying, I told you so. And the reason I'm telling you that is because that's what I did last time. We're in the exact same spot, pretty much. And it's scary. That's why I showed you the Solana chart. Because it's almost doing the same exact thing. But that's the base case here. So essentially, if that's where we are, we should bottom like now. Maybe there's another flush, but I'm assuming every candle close will be inside of the Gaussian channel, which means that this moving average should actually start to curl down now, which means Bitcoin should not get over 100K again if it is a bear market. Or maybe we like wick over it, but this should essentially be what happens. So Bitcoin should potentially, we'll call this the sponge zone, SpongeBob. We should be in the SpongeBob box where we absorb all the Moon Boys' money. Not just kidding. Right? Every cycle you get a SpongeBob box. I unfortunately was the SpongeBob box here. I will not participate in the SpongeBob box this time. This one was also the SpongeBob box. I gotta stop clicking on Binance, man. It's so annoying. Sorry. Alright, so the SpongeBob box is here. Oh my god, everybody sold the bottom. Holy shit, we're going to the moon. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And you even have the Fed meeting coming up too, which I think was up here, right? Wasn't there a Fed meeting here? And then we went down in December afterwards. So we should be entering the SpongeBob box shortly. This one is not the exact same because you didn't actually enter the Gaussian channel until the bear market was almost over. But this is essentially the SpongeBob box here. It's like after the first move down. Right? Where's the 2018? Oh, I skipped 2018. Sorry about that. So 2018 would be here. Because we broke the moving average, we broke the Gaussian channel, and we never got back over the moving average. So, man. The sponge changes size. That's dumb. I don't like that. So if this is a bear market, the SpongeBob box should last until March. I think, right? Is that fair? Romario for 2 says no relief rally to keep retail trapped. They know. I appreciate the 2. I appreciate the 2. I mean, listen, I'm not going to pretend to know. In 2018, there was a bounce, though, even. I don't think we're at the point where there's no bounce. Because even in 2018, you got 2 big-ass bounces. I don't think we're here yet, though, as far as 2018 goes. But again, you guys have to remember, I'm not pretending to be an analyst or a charter or whatever. Like, I'm just here scribbling because what am I going to do? I tried going to the moon. I got sent back into the shadow realm. I'm back in the coal mine in the shadow realm. Fucking shoveling souls of the damned, trying to keep my stream alive. There's no moon boy for me. I'm wiped. I got nothing better to do. I took care of my chores for the day. I did my legs today. I gotta start building my legs up. I did my 3-mile walk. After the stream is over, I'm gonna go cope again, walk another 4 miles. My goal by the end of this market is to be Twig Boy, 175, mark the bottom. So I got nothing better to do. So we already started the stream by saying, according to the 4-year cyclers, the bottom should be in October. Right? Now, if we change the time frame on the 2-week, yeah, see, look, even in 2021, you didn't break. All right, we got to get rid of the sponge. Even in 2021, you didn't break the 2-week moving average until it was time to go to 0. And the Gaussian channel. I really think this should be the bottom, man. It should be the bottom. Well, maybe not the price wick, but like we should kind of do nothing from here. And I really hope that we do, because if we do, then it's going to give me a chance to take that 100% trade where it's like every time this happens, it just goes straight down. If we go any lower from here, I'm not saying we can't. It's just I would be disappointed because then I'd be a deer in headlights. But we'll know that if we bottom here, then the plan has a chance to work. Because in 2018, you didn't break the moving average until it was time to go down. So I think that the problem with YouTubers is they pretend to know exactly what it's going to look like, and that's not what I'm trying to do. Because like if you shorted here, this was really the only easy short. And I'm not even saying that from experience because I didn't do shit except for hold my coins to zero. But like if you didn't, like not a lot of people shorted this because it was kind of like 50-50, the bottom's in, the bottom's not in. But from right here, we just went straight up. That didn't happen in 2018. You did nothing for months. So that's why for me, I'm not looking for the bottom. I'm only looking for the straight down move because you get one every cycle, but it moves around. But you can see even in 2018, once you broke the 2-week moving average, that was it, Goblin Town. But the problem is we're already on the moving average. So I really don't want to go any lower than this. Especially because we get a 2-week candle close today or in 2 days too. Yeah, I think the bottom should be close, man. I don't want to overcomplicate it though. That's the thing, you know. There's just so much time, so I'm not gonna rush. But you guys, today I'm just trying to explain like the basic thought process here. You understand, Charlie? Because when Bitcoin breaks below the weekly Gaussian channel, it tells you that the bottom is on the table. But we're 1 month in. How could the bottom be on the table? That's why I hope we don't go down, because then the bottom's not on the table. So if we speculate, let's begin building our chart now, because I'm doing a bunch of rubbish. So if we speculate that the market cycles are shrinking, let's just say a nice conservative 65% estimate. That puts us here. The last market cycle was 77%. The one before that was 84%. And the one before that was 86. So it's shrinking. 86, 84, 77. We'll play conservative, say 65. That also fits with what we said before, where the bottoms are getting closer together. 17x, 400%. This one would be 173. I think that's valid. Even if we bump it up to 200, fine. 48K. But then we move down to 60%. I don't know if that's deep enough. Let's just say for the sake of the example, again, it's still in the box. So I think the box is fair, personally. So we can speculate, for the sake of the example, that Bitcoin will be around 50K by the fall of 2026. So this is the speculation. There's a black hole here. No, the black hole is earlier than that. Yeah, but I guess if you look at it from this perspective, it's really not that far away. Yeah, we really can't go down, man. I don't know. I think we got to try and bounce here. Unless it's a small bear market, then we go down, then we get the big bounce, and then we go down. Hmm. So I'm gonna assume I'm gonna speculate that this is the end here. We'll put a donut. That's the end. This is when we start gaining weight, when we get the donut. So my objective is to find where is this hole. Hole in one. That's the end goal. Where is the bottomless pit? Because the bottomless pit is not actually the bottom. You can see when the bottomless pit ended here, the bottom was 3 weeks later. Alright. Bottomless pit was the bottom here. So we said that when we break the 2-week moving average, every time the bottomless pit has gotten activated. Every single time we broke the bottomless pit, every time we broke the 2-week moving average, the bottomless pit was activated. The problem is we're already on the moving average right now. So it's almost like we need to bounce now if the bottomless pit is going to be on the table. Because I don't think we're going to go to a bottomless pit if we go through right now. Now I'm kind of mad that we're already down here, dude. Why does it always have to be so hard? I'm trying to time something. I mean, maybe it's not hard. Maybe we do bounce from here. Because if I were going to make as many people poor as possible, I would bounce here. Because the Moon Boys will say, look, it's a higher low. Still bullish. I'm going to go on a limb and say we're entering the jelly zone. Jelly zone. I think we're entering the SpongeBob zone like we talked about before. That's what I want to see. I want to see Bitcoin range for the next 3 to 5 weeks. Maybe we go a little lower, but generally we should stay in the sponge zone, I think. I hope. So what makes the Gaussian channel turn red though? That's the question. I have a feeling this isn't gonna be that simple, man. We're too low. We're just too low already. Unless the bottom is in already. That's what we were looking for. Remember, we weren't looking for the bottom, but I said I hope we go to 80K so it lets me know that it's over and I can start planning. And that's exactly what we did. But now we have to not go any lower than this. But I'm not confident to say the bottom is in because I don't know where the bottom is. Iran for 2 says SPY prediction by February. It's impossible to know. There's not even a guarantee that SPY is going to fall with Bitcoin. Because in 2018, SPY went up the whole time and Bitcoin went to 0. Sorry, right here. Like initially it crashed, but then it went back up. But we kind of already had that. So I think if SPY does move down and it makes a higher low, people will again say that's the bottom. And then you'll get one of these at the end. I don't know. I don't even going to attempt to say SPY prediction, honestly. I mean, you could just look at MicroStrategy and you could just see it's bearish. You know? Like I can't fathom the bullish argument for MicroStrategy. It doesn't exist. It's now back to where it was when Bitcoin broke the high the first time, back at 70K. So whenever I feel too bullish, I just look at MicroStrategy and I say, okay, it's over. But even MicroStrategy is below the channel, so we should bounce soon. I think if we bounce over the next 3 weeks, then my theory should work. And we'll call it the black hole theory, where we need to try and locate the black hole. This. Gulp, 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 gulp. You'll have to watch your favorite YouTuber to find out where the exact bottom is, but historically, we should be entering the SpongeBob zone, where it just does nothing for like 2 months. That's when all the people are gonna leave. Not necessarily though, because if we bounce, everyone will come back saying, "Told you you were an idiot, bullish." But if that happens, I appreciate it too though, but I'm not gonna try and predict SPY, man, because in 2018 it was bullish the whole time. But historically, February is bearish if it's bearish. Right? If it's a bear market, the moving average should be here. Let's go to the 8-day, actually. I like the 8-day better. Moving average would probably be here. Yeah, we really shouldn't get over 100K. And is that the 618 retracement too? 0.5. What about from here? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So I would make the case that if Bitcoin's at 101,000 in February, March, or April, that is the final bull trap before it goes down to 50K. So this is called Operation SpongeBob. Operation Save SpongeBob. That's what we're calling this, Operation SpongeBob. Because I remember back here, the same thing happened and I got excited, but I think we hit some type of 618 retracement. Right? It wasn't the 618 from the top. Oh my God, it was the 0.5. Didn't I just say it was the 0.5 again? Yeah, it was the 0.5. But then if you pull the fib to the next little wick, it's the 618 retracement here. See? And then if you pull the fib here to this little wick, it's the 618 retracement again. And the moving average is right there, just like it was in 2022. But I'm not going to come on here telling you that 2022 is going to repeat itself, because everyone who said that it was going to look like this next time, it didn't. So Operation SpongeBob is in play if Bitcoin goes back to 101 in the spring. If it's a bull market still, you would need to just teleport out of here. Why? Because the momentum, I can't even say the momentum is turning bearish. It already did. But like, yeah, I mean, look at this 6-week MACD. 5-week MACD already turned bearish. I don't even see the bullish argument. What is the bullish argument that people are pushing? Like, I'm genuinely curious because I want to see it. I'm down for some hopium. This thing never turns bearish. Nah, chat, look at how low this thing is. It's over, man. Dude, I'm sorry. Chat, look at the fucking MACD. It's about to cross bearish. Like, not cross bearish, but it's gonna cross into bear territory. The last time it was in bear territory was March of 2023. And it looks exactly like 2022. Look, you crossed into bearish territory in February. That's exactly where we are. Right? And in 2018, it crossed into bearish territory in June of 2018. Yeah, it's not bullish when you cross into a bearish zone. Holy shit. Look at that. Look at that shit. Look at this dude. Head and shoulders on the MACD. No, that's it, man. That's it, chat. Pigpen bollocks hopium. I think the pigpen hopium, dude, look, even on the 9 day, you bounce at the middle line of the channel. Yeah, I think the pigpen hopium is the bottom is in the next week or two, and then we're bullish for 2 or 3 months. So maybe the Fed says something that makes the market bounce, and then everyone says, haha, hip hip hooray, right? Chris for 10 says, I'm all in, bruv. This next year is what we've been waiting for. This drop was a lot of tax harvesting early so they can get back in before the end of the year legally. Must be 30 days after sale. I appreciate the 10, man. That's awesome. I mean, listen, I'm rooting for you. I hope you make a lot of money, you know? For me, I'll probably buy back in if we get over 110. If Bitcoin never gets back over 110, then I never buy back in. Because if it's a bear market, it shouldn't get over 104 or like 106. But I'm rooting for you, man. I hope you're right. Yeah. For me personally, again, it's just for me. I'm not saying that it's going to be right. But for me personally, what I'm seeing right now only happens in bear markets. Like, it's not like maybe it's bull trap. It only happens in bear markets. And then again, I look at MicroStrategy and it just makes me like, I just personally, I can't go all in. I don't have enough money to, I already lost all my money that I could gamble. And even that I couldn't afford to lose. But like, I'm at my limit. I can't lose any more money. So I'd rather wait for there to be confirmation that it's still bullish than bet that it's still bullish when 100% of the indicators that are always bearish for a bear market are bearish now, you know? I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying that for me. I can't lose any more money. So, um, I hope you're right, and I hope we get a biggest bear trap in NBA history. That would be nice. So I appreciate the 10. I know you're looking for a big bull run next year, so I get your logic, you know. I appreciate the 10 though. It helps out a lot. It helps out a lot for sure. I guess my question would be, what is your invalidation? You know? Like, at what point do you say we're going down? Because for me, it was 103, 104. For some people, they don't have one. That's how I was last cycle. I just held all the way down. Which I did very well last cycle. I don't know how the fuck I did it. I had the same amount of money here as I did here, and then I lost it all here. So that's why for me, I learned my lesson, do it right the first time, because even though I kept my money, I ended up losing it anyway. So I'd rather just skip that instead of trying to guess and just go right to the bull run, you know? But I do appreciate the 10, Chris. My question is, what is your invalidation to where it's just bearish, you know? Can we cope, please? There's no coping, dude. You know why there's no coping, chat? Because I'm saying to myself, 2 years ago, I felt the same way. And 2 years later, I was on top of the world. And I know the bull run is every 4 years and the top is every fourth year, but I don't believe that that's true for the altcoins. Because the real money is made when Bitcoin rallies back to the all-time high. And that was not every 4 years. This rally was in 2020. This rally was in 2023. So it was 3 years. This rally was in 2017. But I just told you 2017, 2020, 2023, 2024. No, this was 2023, 2024. So it's like 3 years. Let's just say 3.5 years, which technically is every 4 years. But the reason why this is so relevant is because it's not from the top. That's the point. The top was here, but the rally was here. The top was here, but the rally was here. So that means 3 years from here will be 2027, but the top is a year later. Which 2 years from now is 2027. So if we're entering a bear market, the bottom would be in October. We would do some bullshit in November, December, January, and then the bull run would start in February, March, April, May, blah, blah, blah. And then we're right here again. That's my point. Let me paint a picture for you, Charlie. My goal is to get to this without going through this. Because this is where I lost all my money. Even though I lost it in the bear market, I kept it for most of the bear market, and then I lost it buying shitcoins. But that's my point. This big ass rally back to the all-time high starts in 2 years. And there's no guarantees that it's going to look exactly like this. It's not. But the Moonboy chart says that it will. And Non-Ngoyan, who is always negative, even though I know he's a good guy, he will second it because he has his own Moonboy chart. The last Moonboy chart, bull run indicator, ends here. But we have 3 of them this time, it's odd. We have one in August. Like, we're supposed to have a bullish one in August. That's why I'm going to come out and say that the chart doesn't work the way that I wanted it to. Because it said the top should have been in Q1. But obviously for Bitcoin, it's not going to work the same. But it's possible that we do what we did last time in a similar fashion where we're bearish before August, then we bounce into August because August is supposed to be bullish, and then the bottom is in October, and then we just go up right away. Because I think the bull run indicator is in August, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it would be shifted over a little bit. So it should look something like this. Kinda. But again, I don't know what it's gonna look like. You know? Maybe it ends up doing this. That's why it's important to note that I don't know what it's gonna look like. Because how do we know it doesn't do this? Where it just does nothing. The bottom would still be in October. We just do nothing. And then again, the bull run starts summer of 2027. That's what I just said. But again, the rally back to the all-time high is 2028. And this is why it's so important. I know it sounds like I'm wasting my time, but the bull run is shrinking. So if the rally to the all-time high should be here, then nobody cares about what happens after that because nobody made any money. Like, legitimately, the rally to the all-time high, like, yeah, maybe for a hair in October and November of 2024, but I would like to see the data of who made money after December of 2024. It's probably the minority. This was the most money. So even if we follow 2014, this is where the money is. From June of 2027 to March of 2028. And you might be saying this doesn't really look legit, which obviously it's not, but you have to remember that 2017 was look at the size of the bull run. It says we're going to 900,000. That's not happening. I think realistically, the top could be 150, 170-ish. You get the point? So I'm not looking for the top. I'm just looking for where is the rally back to the all-time high, and that keeps moving around. So that's not every 4 years. Because, like, let's be honest, Chad, this is now the second market cycle where if you sold in Q1, if you sold in Q1, you did better than the people who sold in Q4. And I know I'm not a charter and I know I suck, but we were looking for that. So now I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to look for it again. And if we fucking start going up, I have to accept get out. I don't care if Bitcoin's bullish for 2 more years. Because even though in 2020, in January and February, Bitcoin was bullish for another 8, 9 months, 10 months actually, right? November is 11, January and February is 9 and 10. There were coins that topped out here. Just like in 2024, how many coins topped out here? And there's indicators to support that. The Cutler RSI is my personal favorite. I got it from Mr. Mixer. When the Cutler RSI starts hitting a yellow box, that's how you know it's time to go. It happened both times. Actually, it happened all 3 times. If you sold all your shit coins, yeah, you didn't sell the top, but you didn't lose any money. It looks like once the Cutler RSI prints a yellow box, it's no longer easy to make money unless you're holding Bitcoin. See? If I mark this for you, when the Cutler RSI turns yellow, it's no longer easy to make money. You had 2 of them last time. But there was what, like 100 coins? Now the next market cycle, there's going to be 1 billion coins. There's probably going to be 1 billion coins by the end of the fucking bear market. So my point here is, as a poor person, I don't care where Bitcoin tops. I need to find where is the rally back to the all-time high. Because that is where, look, right, even here, that is where the people like me make money. It's easy money, it's called. Even though nothing is easy anymore, but that's what it is. And that, my friend, is every 3 years. December of 2020, March of 2024, or even November of 2023, we would say that's where it started. And then this one started, you broke the high. Again, even here, look, you broke the high in the beginning of 2017. So the rally started at the end of 2016. So that was 4 years. But the reason why I think it's relevant is because the bull runs are shrinking. This one was so early because look at how big it is. You went from $500 to 20,000. Here you went from 10,000 to 6,000. Here you went from 30,000 to 100,000. So the next one would probably be from 70,000 to like 140, a 2x. It's not going to be worth it for people like us. I don't want to say all of you, but like for people that are in my position. So that's why I'm essentially, and I have plenty of time to do so. I have a whole 8 months, but it's going to go quick. Like if the bear market really started already, we're already going to be 2 months in by the end of the month. And then when Christmas is over, it's 3 months in. That's why for me, I just have to make it to the spring. Because the summer is easy to get through. You just go to the beach. And then when the beach season's over, it's the bull market. Because the bottom will be in the fall. Then we start the shit all over again. So that's my base case, I think, for the next couple weeks. I'm going to try and spend time forming some type of chart. Because I know my chart, unfortunately, the overall outcome was incorrect because the top was not in Q1. But if I would have listened to it and sold when it told me to sell, I would be in a very good spot right now. So that's what I would say about my Moonboy chart. It was wrong overall, but if I listened to it, I would have been in a really good spot. So I'm going to make another one. Because if I did it once, I could do it again. And that's why I need us to bottom at 80K. Maybe we wick down. I think the best case scenario for me would be we go a little lower to like 77 and then we bounce. But be careful for the propagandists that say we're oversold, because that doesn't mean shit. And if you're going to say that it does, I'll use your own argument against you and say when we turned bullish, the overbought RSI didn't mean shit. So this is something that a lot of the grifters are overlooking. And I'm a grifter too. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. But like, look at how oversold, look at how overbought this was. And that wasn't even the top. We actually went up another 20%. I don't think we're going to go down 20%. That's not possible. Unless it's a baptism wick. We still didn't get one of these. I don't even know if I want one of these now. Dude, if we get a baptism wick, it's 17%. If you get a baptism wick, then you'll never recover, man. The alts are going to go down 50%. But this oversold RSI doesn't mean anything because the overbought RSI didn't mean anything. You know? I mean, at some point it came back down, yes, but that was 2 months later. So if it takes 2 months to go back up to overbought, that's a bear market, Charlie. That's the point. If it's a bull market, this got a slingshot back up. What time is it? Give me a time check. Oh, we're only an hour and a half. All right, I gotta go refill my soda bottle. I'm back on the soda grind. Where's Chris? Did Chris give us his invalidation? Chris, you didn't give us your invalidation if Bitcoin breaks previous high. Bro, you're gonna turn bearish if Bitcoin breaks 70K? All right, man. I mean, that's not a horrible spot, but you're also holding Litecoin. If you're holding anything else, the coins will go to zero by then. But I'll be right back. But that's fair. I get it. 70K is fair. I'll be right back. I got to fill up my soda bottle and go to the bathroom. It takes like 1 minute, so I'll lose about 50 viewers. How many viewers do I have right now? 250? We'll be at like 230, I think. We didn't actually lose any viewers. How could that be? Keep the camera on? I can't. I'm not wearing any pants. I don't want to get banned. No, I'm wearing pants. I just turned my camera on, so I turned my camera off so you don't see that I'm not wearing any pants. All right, let's pour one out, chat. We're pouring out a Diet Coke. Here we are again. I can't believe we're still here, but look at all those bubbles. I want to give you guys a toast for listening to me. All right, over the next 6 months, a lot of people are going to leave. A lot of people are going to enter a really dark place. A lot of people are already there, myself included. But I just want to let you know that I am very grateful for all of you, and we're going to have to try again. We're just going to keep trying until we get it. I don't care. But, you know, thank you for listening to me for however many years. And I thought about it today, how I'm very lucky to have a platform. Some people don't. So even though I'm not as big as other YouTubers, that's okay. Coke Zero is better than Diet Coke. I can't afford Coke Zero. This is store brand soda. It's $1. So, cheers, boys, and the 5 ladies. Oh, I did hit 230 viewers. I was correct. Good luck to y'all. And it's gonna go quick, man. I'm telling you. It was just 2023. Now it's 2026. So this shit's gonna be quick. Before you know it, it'll be done. I'm telling you, man. It seems like the end of your life, but it isn't. I think it's the end of our life that we wanted. That is true. But I said that here. I said I'm never gonna have the life I wanted. And then when I got the life that I said I wanted here, I changed it to, well, now I want to be a millionaire. So I set myself back. The man avoided, what is the saying? The man arrived at his destiny on the very road he took to avoid it. So if I would have listened to myself here, next time I would have had it. Now, if I'm lucky, I have to wait till next time, which is 8 years from now, and I'll be old by then. So the dream that I wanted is dead. It's not happening. But I've accepted that, and now I'm gonna bring my brain to a new place. Peaceful place. But the base case essentially is we're here. We're in one of these. Why? Because this was 56 days from the top. This was 70 days from the top. Yo, believe it or not, we're already starting to move. Actually, it's 42 days. So the SpongeBob zone typically lasts 133 days. This one you could say was 98 days. So 98 days from now is, yeah, March. I think we're shooting for March. I believe we're shooting for March as the capitulation date. Because if the bottom is in October, that gives you 224 days to capitulate and form a low. That's what happened here. 224 days. Here, I think it was actually 160, but then the second low was 224. Yeah. I think we should shoot for March or April as the capitulation day. I think that's fair, man. So if we're bullish from January to March and we don't get over 100,000, I would say there's a 100% chance we go straight down. That's my no, nothing's 100%. So we got a rough draft now. I think the first step is to get rejected at 100,000 or around 100,000. So if you're holding Bitcoin, this is only contingent if we hold this level. If we slice right through 75K, then forget it, bro. We're not going back to 100K. But this is on the contingency that we're forming a bottom over the next 3 weeks. But if we're down at 70K in 3 weeks, then we're fucked. I have no idea what's going to happen. That's why I'm hoping we bounce. If we go down one more time and then bounce, that is also fine. That also works. Brian Gardner for 2 says that's going on with Tensor. I appreciate the 2. Tensor. Looks like a scam pump. If you're in, I would probably sell it. Not financial advice. I'm not telling you to sell it, but if I were in, I would sell it. Again, you get these scam pumps all the time. Everyone says, "Oh my God, it's going to the moon," and then 5 weeks later, it's back at zero. It happens every time, forever and ever. I mean, this coin has been going straight down for 2 years. Yeah, I'm not a trader, but I've been here long enough to see this shit all the time. I mean, look at Jasmy. I'm actually getting pumped right now. Dude, you're telling me that in 2 years I might be back? Come on, baby. I could wait 2 years. That's what happened with Jasmy in 2021. It just kept going to zero. Yo, Jasmy's back. And then it went to zero. You gotta be careful. I mean, listen, the reality is it was our worst nightmare came true. I don't know if David B's in the chat, but all these coins did retracements. I think this is a 618 retracement if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's pitiful. You got a 618 retracement, now the bear market resumes. These altcoins never left the bear market. Look at AVAX. AVAX was supposed to be a competitor to Solana. Even I thought that back in 2023. This coin has been bearish. Oh, this coin has been bearish since March of 2024. Is this another 786 retracement? Oh, okay. It's almost a triple top at 618. I think if you pull it down to here, it's the 786. Yeah. Avalanche is gonna break the low. I'm calling it now, which is not something to call, but I mean you could just tell. Look at how low it is. And then the hopium would be this, chat. Because I'm not an economist, you'll have to follow your favorite YouTuber for that. I like saying that. That's my saying. But apparently, a lot of the Moon Boys are saying the ISM index is going to be bullish next time. I don't know how to share with that. I don't remember how to show you that. Can someone... It should be here, actually. No, it's not. That's weird. Can someone tell me how to pull up the manufacturing index, please? Excuse me, please. Why did Floki make a new all-time high? Because it's like the fucking lottery, man. Floki made a new all-time high because that was the coin that I bought in June of 2022 and I sold it. That's why I'm not comfortable, but I'm not like totally retarded. Because I'm going to try and find the right play for me. Because if I always stick to my original plan, it usually works. I just don't. And I don't have an original plan yet. My plan is in the alpha stages. First, we're going to move it from alpha to beta, and then beta to Charlie, and then release the full draft. Does anyone know what the ISM is? Someone in the chat, help me, please. If you're not going to send super chats, just help do something. Don't just suck up oxygen. I said that last time. Does anybody know what the ISM is? You guys are just talking about rubbish. Thoughts on Supra? Yeah, it's a nice car if you like toasters. Someone always comes to the stream saying, look at the ISM index, and now I'm asking for it and nobody's giving it to me. Hello? Is anybody out there? Hello, hello. I'll figure it out, don't worry. Thanks. PMI, that's what it is. Thanks for the help, chat. You really helped me out on that one. So, the hopium that's brewing in the Moonboy market is next market cycle, we're going to have low rates and money printing. So, the manufacturing index will rally, which could spark a real old season. That would be the hopium. Now, the Moon Boys are saying that we're going to get the bull run now, but I'm saying, which is, I have always said this, why does this have to go up? Why can't it go down first and then go up? And that actually lines up with the QE argument, because the Fed only uses QE when there's a recession or there's a problem and they want to prevent the problem. So I think this falling will trigger QE, right? And then from there you get the big bull run. Does that sound like a plan? So it's possible the next bull run is good for the altcoins. Problem is, there's going to be a billion altcoins. So the one that you're holding right now is probably still going to zero. Oxtail Lo Mein for 5 says barbecue chicken. I appreciate the 5, man. That's awesome. I appreciate the 5. Helps out a lot in times of need. In times of despair like now. It really does help a lot. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. When we upload the Crunchwrap Supreme video, probably in December. So in case you guys didn't know, Mr. Meow is referring to my food channel. This is the Daily Shill. Welcome to the Daily Shill. Oh, I should make that my podcast. Welcome to the Daily Shill. Today we're going to be shilling my food channel. Posting the link in the chat right now. I'm only uploading once a week because I don't have any money and I'm trying to lose weight. But once things settle down and I start getting some money back and losing weight, we're going to upload twice a week. I think I have 3 more videos coming out, or 2. And then the Crunchwrap video. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit. But looks like Taco Bell works. I tried to do the McRib and they told me they don't have any, so I said thanks for nothing and drove away. No, I just said thank you. Thanks. So check out the food channel. Trying to get to 510 subscribers. You have to wait until December. Yeah. I'm trying to stick to the schedule. You made $5 just to say barbecue chicken. Well, I made $3 because YouTube takes half, and then I gotta pay taxes, so $2.50. But yeah, pretty much. I appreciate the 5. Thank you very much. Barbecue chicken. No more super chats until I see the Crunchwrap video. That's all right. You sent me $20, so that's like 10 $2 super chats. So I appreciate that a lot, man. Helps. Do we get another sub? Nice. Nice. So if you feel like I sound like I'm in a good mood, I'm not in a good mood, but I'm just trying to be optimistic about the future because it's going to go very fast, and that is scary because I am starting to get older now. But the suffering may be coming to an end, I think. I hope. Maybe it isn't, I don't know. But the reality is the bull run to the high is every 3 years, not every 4 years. The top is every 4 years, but the bull run to the high is that's a good way to word it. That's what I was trying to say before. The top may be every 4 years, but the rally to the high is every 3 years. And the reason why that's important is because we already sat through 1 year, which was 2024. So our next chance to make money is only 2 years away, which is still a long time, but it's not 4 years away, which is a long time. I'm going to DCA until it hits 130 and good luck, Chase. That you're going to have to wait 4 years for, I think. We're not going to hit no, that should be 2 years as well. We should hit 125 again in 2 years. I mean, let's just look at the data. Yo, chat, let's look at the data. You were 69K in November. 2 years later, it was 2.5 years later. Am I stupid or retarded? If you bought the top in 2021, you had to wait 800 days to get your money back. If you bought the top in 2017, you had to wait 1100 days to get your money back. So if you bought the top here, yeah, that's what I said, fat boy. 800 days is December of 2027. Yo, I'm telling you, chat, we're gonna let him cook. I never say that cringe ass shit. I said let him cook. Dude, look at this dude. Yo, you might even be able to push the narrative that is shrinking. Hold on a second, cuh. Was this one 1200? Oh, SpongeBob. Yo, Operation Save SpongeBob is now in session. The time it takes to get back to the all-time high is shrinking. So we might even have to wait 700 days, which is 2 years. SpongeBob. You said it's every 4 years, SpongeBob. No, I said it was the top every 4 years. You know why that makes sense? Because the rallies off the low are shrinking. Oh no, are they? Yeah, that's why. The rally off the low is shrinking. That's why we made a new all-time high before the halving. Well, I think we made a new all-time high before the halving because of Moonboy cycle, but nobody cares about that. Oh man, we cracked the code, chat. Tell Nan and Goyen to get back in the stream. We got to make some more Moonboy charts. Dude, I'm not even bullshitting you. It's literally shrinking. 1200, 1085, 854. I think we're back at the high in 2 years. I know that sounds kind of bizarre, but that's what the data says. I'm not even making it up, dude. The rally back to the high is shrinking. But that's because the bull market is shrinking. So it's taking long. Like once you break the high, that's where it starts getting shitty. That's where we went wrong, man. Because we all thought once we break the high, we're going to get rich. Because that's what always happens. But it didn't happen this time. But it didn't happen last time either. Like, yeah, you got rich the first time, and then the second time, nothing happened. This time, you basically got rich at the high. So maybe next time it's before the high. I don't know, but I need to find out where this is. I'm going to spend the next 6 months trying to find this. Because if I can find this again, then I can get all my money back. And that's only 2 years from now. And if I take my age right now from this very moment and I add 2 years and I have all my money back, fine. I'll say thank you. I'll accept. I accept. I accept your offer, Mr. Cuban. 2 years, what a waste of time. Bro, crypto in general is a waste of time. The hopium pipe dream that everyone with 1 million subs sells you is long gone. It's over. Crypto now is for traders and Bitcoin holders. That's it. The old season days are over. If you're not trading or selling bullshit on YouTube, then crypto sucks. Luckily, I got chosen to sell bullshit, so. When it moves up violently, that's when you make money. Yes, exactly. But the move up violently only happens every 2 to 3 years. And it's a small window. So what I'm saying is I need to find the violent move to the downside too. Because you get a violent move to the downside and a violent move to the upside. It happens every time. Forever and ever. But now you can make money in both. I mean, I guess you were always able to make money in both directions. But I think this time and last time is easier. Like not literally and like mentally easier, but like physically there's more available choices to make money to the downside this time and last time versus 2018. 2018, you had to live in like some Chinese area to short. This, you could have used Robinhood. Now you can use everything. Yo, we're on to something here, chat. Only gotta wait 2 more years. You only have to wait 2 more years. We didn't get a fast move? Yeah, we did. Dude, me, Nanangoyan, and John Doe all went from poor to 6 figures. That was the top. When people like me start getting a lot of money, the top is in. Nanangoyan literally got a 40x. Like, just think about that. I had to do it the old-fashioned way. I got a 2x, then a 3x, then a 4x, then a 2x. But he got a 40x in one go. That was the end, man. The bear market's confirmed. Why not short the market? That's why we're trying to make a chart. That's why we're trying to make a chart for the drop. If you're shorting right now, you're either going to get liquidated. This is what I think. This is where I think we're at. I think we're in here somewhere. We're getting close to the bottom. Like, not the bottom, but the first bottom. So if you're shorting now, you either know where the bottom is or you're going to get liquidated. And knowing that I don't know where the bottom is, I'm not going to blindly short something. Because I do think we're getting close to this. Doesn't mean it has to look like this. It could look like this, where you get a big bounce. I don't know. But every market cycle, you've gotten a big bounce. The big bounce is coming. The question is, where is it? And since I don't know where it is, I'm not going to try and short. I'm not going to try and short. But if we do get the big bounce soon, then that means that the straight down move is not far away. That is when I will try and strike. But I need to be 100% certain that that's where we are. And I don't know if we're not even close to that yet. But even if you keep it as simple as just dragging over the market cycles, even that says it should be in the spring. No matter which market cycle you choose, they all say it should start sometime in the spring. So that's why I would personally like to see us bottom now, maybe in a week or two. Because that would tell me that the crash in the spring is very much valid. See? So if we take all prior market cycles, they don't all look the same, but they all say that a bounce around the winter time should be in play. You can see in 2018 and in 2022, it says bounce from, I guess this is a good way to do it. Look, so 2018 and 2022 say bounce is here. I guess even 2014 says bounce in February. 2022 would be the best. You can see 2022 is the best scenario. It's very clean. You start going down in April. But 2018 doesn't say that. 2018 says you don't go down until May. Yeah, but that's the same shit, May. And so does this. Yeah, so 2018 and 2014 say you start going down in July. But all three market cycles suggest that there should be a bounce between January and March. But it doesn't say the bottom is in yet. It says we could go lower, we could not. But I'm not a trader, so I don't give a shit what it does. That's why you let the traders trade and the moon boys like me just sit on their hands and do nothing. Doing nothing and saving your money is an option. I don't know why people forget that. Unfortunately, I forget it too late, but I've been reminded because last time I lost everything. I'm not doing that this time. But losing or not losing money is an option. So it does suggest January to April is potentially the bounce area. Could we bounce earlier than that? Yes. Now, if the 4-year cycle algorithm says the bottom's in October, then we would have to start moving down before that, which is why the top or the relief rally could be in April, and then we go down from April to April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, maybe it's like April or May. But there's plenty of time to look at this shit. We got 7 months. Well, maybe we got like 5 months. Cyber Curd for 2. I appreciate the 2, man. I lost a lot. I don't know what to do. Last Bitcoin pump, good for alts. I appreciate the 2. Yeah, I mean, I think alts will bounce very hard when Bitcoin does get the bounce, but we don't know where that is. That's the problem. So I'm not going to come on here telling you guys, oh, when we get the bounce, just get out. Because if we don't get the bounce and Solana falls by 40% and then you get the bounce, by the time you get the bounce, the coin's already down 80%. Like, here's an example. I actually spent the whole stream without going on Dex Tools, but look at this. Look at this, dude. Oh my God, FWOG's going to 0. You know, like someone holding FWOG, waiting for the bounce. It's not coming. Dude, it's actually going to 0. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm done with this bullshit ass coins, man. I was going to buy this too, and I was like, oh, if I could just hold it to the high. That was the high. This coin's not going to exist next market cycle. So, unfortunately, CyberCurd, there will be a bounce at some point, but that's like saying at some point it's going to rain. It could be months before it rains. And then all the plants die. Obviously, some plants won't die, like a cactus, but we can't all be cactuses. Some of us are very delicate. So I would rather just sit in a pot full of a little bit of water, a little bit of soil. A lot of dirt fell out of the bucket, but at least I got something. Than just sit and wait in a drought, waiting for it to rain. Dude, I'm so good at these analogies. But yeah, does that make sense? So at some point, we will bounce, and some of these alts will go up, and a lot of these alts will probably bounce past where people sold them. But I accept that, because every time this happens, I lose all my money. Every single time. I lost all my money here, but then I ended up getting it back and still didn't get it back. I lost all my money here. I lost all my money here. Whenever the market goes up or down, I don't really lose money. It's only when it starts chopping around, that's when I lose all my money. And I think we're about to enter some nasty chop, which is why I have to accept that I'm not going to make any money. I really think we're about to enter the chop zone. Get to the chopper. If my plan is going to work, we need to have bottomed, or we're about to bottom. We enter the SpongeBob zone. We probably go back up to 90-something K. Everyone says, haha, you were bearish at the bottom, even though we were looking for 80,000. I don't make price predictions, but like we were trying to say, if we go to 80,000, that's actually bearish. But that's good, because if we bottom there, then we know this is where we are. Which means this is next. So you might have a chance to get your money. Well, I'll never get my money back, but some people might. Some people won't. Some people will lose everything. It's different. It's on a coin by coin basis. If I'm holding Dogecoin, Doge is holding up pretty well, but you got to notice that even back here, Doge died in that time frame, chat. So even though Bitcoin bottomed in January, look, Doge made lower lows. It's not even a guarantee, but you did get one final chance to get out before it died. So it's gambling. Gambling, waiting for a bounce is just something that I don't want to do. I've lost too much money. But I do think personally we're now entering the SpongeBob zone. I would be surprised if we kept going down. I think the market I think the market knows where it is, and it knows that if we go any lower, everyone's going to get out. So it's like we need to, not only do they want to get people out, but they need to get people that are out to get back in. And this is exactly where you do it. This is the perfect spot to get people back in. And there's going to be there will be people that do FOMO back in. But I have to tell myself no. No FOMO. But I'm not going to FOMO because this is what we wanted. We wanted 80K. Now we need it to hold. Then we need it to go sideways or up. And then it's time to start planning because this move down is going to come quick. And when the move down comes, that's my chance to get some money. And then the bottom is in after that. And then we start bullish again. So I think tomorrow I'm going to try and start making a chart. But today was essentially the idea that I'm trying to run past everyone. I moved my money to the bank. I'm leaving it in there. Yeah, there's no point of gambling, man. I'm done with Dex Screener. This shit ruined my life. It didn't. It gave me a life, but I ruined my own life. But ultimately, moving forward, I would prefer to not look at that shit. If we just mention every month, one of them will be right. What, a bounce? I'll still take the risk and buy when it gets to a certain price. Waited too long to not get into some of those prices. What, now? Like this? You could get in here. Vlog. Dude, I didn't know John Doe was in the chat. Welcome. Did APU make a new low too? APU was one of my coins I think are gonna bounce. Yeah, APU should be a big bouncer too. Yeah, shit's still going down. At some point, APU is gonna bounce. Oh my God, what if it doesn't? This thing's about to nuke. Yeah, I'm out. The Dex Screener days are done, man. It was a good fucking run. It was a good run. I have to get in. I'll just take it to the grave. No, bro. Dude, did you just join the stream or did you hear my speech? Looks, MicroStrategy's going down again. Wait, dude, did you hear my speech or no? I got some hopium, Mr. Doe. Why not get in? You know there's gonna be a bounce. Because what if it doesn't? Because what if it doesn't bounce, dude? Yo, I was gonna buy FWOG if I didn't lose everything, and it blew right through my box. Dude, because we don't know if it's gonna bounce. What I'm laying out is the hopium case for us to get a bearish move. You didn't hear it? Feed me some hopium. All right, I got here some good hopium, sir. So you know how everyone says the top is every 4 years? Well, I think the money is made every 3 years. Which you might be saying that doesn't help me, fool. But it does, because we already sat through 1 year. Which means there's only 2 years left. And I take it a step further, and I say the money is made when Bitcoin rallies back to the all-time high. If you remember, that was when you made all your money. That was when I made all my money. And that was when Nanangoyan got a 50x and then dumped on the Discord server. You can see also that's when this Cutler RSI prints a yellow box. It's been that way for the last 7 years. But the thing is, this rally is every 2 years or every 3 years. It's not every 4 years. It's the top that's every 4 years. But if you look at where Bitcoin is and how long it takes to get back to the all-time high, it's shrinking. This one was 1085. This one was 868. This one was the largest at 1200, which means that in order for us to get back to the all-time high, it might take less. It might take like 600 days, maybe 700, which means that if the bear market started, the bottom is here, we're gonna have to teleport to the all-time high. You know? Even if it's not shrinking, even though the data says that it is shrinking, let's just say that it isn't, and it's 900 days. That puts us in February of 2028. Which is technically 4 years from 2024 when I ate all the pizza, but that was 2 years ago. So it's only 2 years away. Right? January of 2028 is 2 years from now. So if we know this is bearish, just don't lose any money, and then you just have to do exactly what you did last time. That's why you can't lose any more money, man. We're gonna V recovery. That's what everyone has been saying all the way down. How's that opium? Oh, that's funny. I guess it's not hopium. It's hopium for me that we could have our money back in 2 years. You have to wait until 2027 at least. Oh man. Cyber Curd, I appreciate the $1. I need some water, my soul's dry. Well, I think we really should go up if we're gonna get a bear market. I hope. In my opinion, what I would love to see is the sponge zone. You're too bearish. We have to V recovery now. Well, we wanted 80K like a week ago. I don't know if you were here, but we said if we go down to 80K, that's the best case scenario because we'll know it's over and we'll know we should bounce from there. But if it doesn't bounce from here, I'm going to be scared because I don't know where if we don't bounce from here, then I don't know what the bear market's going to look like. If the bottom is in, then the bear market should look like this. So you're essentially here. Which if we're here, then we know that this is next. Which is why I hope we either bottomed today or we bottom in the next 3 to 5 days. Berto for 5. I appreciate the gifted subs, man. That is awesome. I appreciate the 5 subs, man. It helps out a lot in times of despair. Helps out a lot in times of despair. Appreciate that, man. We need 80K or I'll flip. Yeah, I think a lot of people turn bearish at 80K. That's why we really can't break it. Because we need to trap more people. And I'm not even talking like, that's how the bears talk. I'm not a bear. I'm a moon boy. It's just, it's doing exactly what it always does every single time. And people like me like to overcomplicate it and say, oh, well, maybe we can do this and still be bullish. Every single bull market support has been broken. And every time I come on my live stream for the last week, we're lower than we were the stream before. And every time I end my stream, we start bouncing. And I'm going to end my stream in the next half an hour. It's the same thing every day. Now, at some point, we will put a bottom in, but how many times have we said as a joke, oh, the bottom's in, the bottom's in, the bottom's in, the bottom's in again, everybody pile in. And then tomorrow, we're down at 77K. But at some point, we do have to bottom. I do hope the bottom is in because that tells me that the SpongeBob strategy is going to work. We would be bullish until like March or April. Which is good because that means more people will come in and watch the stream and say, haha, bull run. But I'll get more viewers, which is bullish for me. And then if it pumps back to 100K and it gets stuck, then that's my chance to strike. So plan Operation SpongeBob has been initiated. We got the move to 80K. Now we need to hold it and go back up. But we can't go back over we can't get back over like 105 or 104. Yeah, wait, is the middle of the Gaussian channel there too? It's at 101. Yeah, oh, you got over it here. So it's mixed data. But essentially, we shouldn't get over this level. The goal right now is just to survive. Oh yeah, and yeah, John Doe, the thing is the gambling coins are still going up. So I guess technically you could gamble. Like Pump Fund Pepe, someone just said. This coin is gonna rip so hard. I was gonna buy it, but I didn't, of course. But yeah, when we bounce, this coin is gonna rip super hard. But if we don't bounce, this coin's gonna go to 0. But the casino is always open. So if and when Solana bounces, then Pump Fund Pepe should pump. But I wanted to buy it here and I didn't. But I don't even care because I'm not looking at this dumbass website anymore. I made my bed. I'm trying to set it up. But yeah, you could probably gamble in the casino, honestly. You posted Domino's Pizza on the Discord. Oh, did you see my bear chart for Solana? That's why there's no guarantees that the bottom is in for some of the coins. Because Solana bounced and then it made a new low and then it made a new low again and then we got the bounce. But Solana was bearish this whole time. Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna look like. Let's see, Domino's. I have never had Domino's, I don't think. Whoa, this guy got a junior pie. Is that for your dog or you? Dude, you ate this little ass thing? A medium? I could go for some pizza right now, but the pizza days are long gone. Weekend is upon us, so bullish. I think this week this was a good week, even though it was obviously very bad. This is now the second weekly close below the moving average and the Gaussian channel. So we might be right here. Which I think that's the best case scenario for everyone. I think a lot of people can get their money, not their money back from the top, but like some money back. It brings a lot of viewers into the stream. It gives me an opportunity to make a plan. And we'll know where we are, too. You know? If we do this exact move, we'll know exactly where we are. Which means that we know that we're about to do this. Obviously, if it breaks to the upside, then you just had a bull market. Either way, everyone comes back to the stream. I put my money back in and we get old season. There's no... If we just bottomed, I think everyone wins. But we have to understand that there's no such thing as winning back here. This we're never going to get unless we make a new all-time high. But I think for the scenario that we're in, if we can form some type of low around here, I think everyone could win. Because we'll know, okay, we just completed the first phase of the bear market. Assuming it is a bear market. Because even this was the same distance. This was 56 days. This was 70 days. So it's too early to say the bottom is in right now, but you should form a bottom in December. That's what always happens. Yeah. Looks like you should form a bottom in December. If it's not in already. A short-term bottom, at least. For Kiddo for 8 says you have to look at that website to look at my garbage pails for super chats. I appreciate the 8, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I have Dex tools now instead of Dex Screener. Because Dex Screener, I have too many coins. What is this scam? Oh, look, another scam is going to the moon. But see, this is like, this makes you think that it's bullish, so everybody piles back in, you know? Like, you could gamble in the casino, it's always open for sure. But overall, the same thing happened in 2022 though. When the coins were going down and some of the scam coins were going up, remember? We were like, yo, this coin's still pumping, we're in a bull market. Remember that? I'm not going down that road again. That shit is never gonna end well for me. But I appreciate the 5, man. Yeah, I'm still gonna look at the shit coins that you guys asked me about. I'm just not participating. I'm not. I got the move down that I wanted. We hit 80K. I'm not a price predictor, I'm not a trader, I'm not an analyst, but I needed 80K to hit because it tells me that we're here somewhere. Now, if we go even lower, then I'm not going to be that happy because I won't know where we are. Now, if we go back up over 104,000, then you could say, holy shit, we're going to the moon. But if it's a bear market, we shouldn't get back up that high. Like, we could go up there for a day, but generally we shouldn't get that high. Yeah, even here, 5-day time frame. I need to find something that's never wrong, and it's hard to do. But I appreciate the 5, man. That's awesome. Did you see the Russell went up 3%? Yeah, but it's too late, man. Look, the bottom is in. Now it's fucking bullish. We're about to blast out of here. And that's what happened back here. And then we went straight down. Like, it's always bullish. I get it. Even here in 2018, it was bullish the whole way. As a moon boy, I see this and I get excited. Oh my God, we're about to go to the moon. Holy shit. But then I look at MicroStrategy and it's like, holy shit, this thing's going to 0. I'm telling you, we got plenty of time to plan, man. We got plenty of time to plan. Right now, my strategy is in the early stages. Which, by the way, if we don't actually bounce, we're going to get a sell signal on Ethereum. Which every time you've gotten a sell signal, you have not gone up, ever. I think the only time you went up was 2017. 2018 was bearish, 2019 was bearish. 2020 was bearish, but you still stayed down here for 4 weeks before you went up. This one, you stayed down here for like 7 weeks. This one was just bearish. Yeah, this one you went up, but it took 2 months. This one you went straight down. Yeah, this was a big week, man. We got a sell signal for Ethereum. Yeah, 8-day too. It's not looking good, chat. Like, I'm genuinely trying to look for bullish hopium. I don't know where am I supposed to be looking? You know? If you look at this MACD. Look at this dude. Triple head and shoulders on Bitcoin. Bull run with no old season, I don't buy it. I mean, you gotta do what's best for you, man. I get it. I genuinely get it. Did we get some more subs? Nice, nice. All right, chat, that'll do it for today. Every single day I end my live stream, we just bounce, and then by the next morning, it's even lower. So just be careful, all right? I don't know if that's the bottom or not. Maybe we go down a little bit lower, and then that's the bottom, but we're getting close to the area where there should get some type of relief in the market. Because think about it. We went down low enough to where if we did bottom, everyone will say, see, it's still bullish. It's only down 36%. But you can't even say that it's small. It's the biggest correction now. So like that theory of, oh, well, we always get this is out the window. This is the largest one. But I think if we do get a big bounce, a lot of you guys will probably make some decent money on the shit coins, but I can't participate. So the entire stream and no Japan yen. I don't know what that is. Just buy Myro at 1 million. No, Myro is not going to exist next time. Holy shit. I mean, I guess if it goes low enough. Yeah, you know what? I guess I didn't think of that. You might have a point there. If these coins go so low to where it's like I have to buy in, that's a good idea. But like I don't think I'm ever gonna beat my entry, man. My original entry on Myro was $600 for a million coins. But Samo never came back. That's the problem. But yeah, Myro's done, man. What about Whiff? Is Whiff going down? Yeah, oh shit, Whiff. Yeah, Whiff is finally going down. Oh boys. See, you're looking for the bounce and shit's going straight down now. Whiff's about to break the low. What about Popcat? Yeah, Popcat's at 9. Chat. Dude, be careful waiting for that bounce, man. Wow, these coins are still bearish. Chat, be careful waiting for the bounce. What's another big Solana coin? Myro, Popcat, Whiff. Oh, Bonk. Is Bonk still Yeah, Bonk is bleeding too. Yo, we might still be bearish, dude. Hold on a second. Dogelon is waiting for you. I'm not buying Dogelon. I don't think I'm ever buying shitcoins again unless I have extra money. But I'm not going to say that because I don't know where I'm going to be. Like if I get some decent money over the next 2 years somehow and our theory ends up being true, then the time to buy shitcoins should be like the fall of 2027. Pretty much. So I'll see where I'm at when I get there, but I'm not worried about that. The bottom is fake. Coinbase is sending ads. Chill guy. Wait, did chill guy break down? Or no? No, but chill guy doesn't count. Chill guy sucks. I'm talking about the big coins, like the ones on Robinhood. Yeah, chill guy sucks. What's another big one? Like the coins that have a lot of liquidity. Bonk, Popcat, Whiff. I think that was the big three. It was Bonk, Popcat, and Whiff. Right? What about Wojak on ETH? Is that shit still going down? Yeah, why are these coins? These coins are just going down now, though. Wojak is still bearish. Unless this chart is wrong. I don't ever use this website. Yo, dude, Wojak is about to nuke. Oh, man, I'm not touching that shit. I'm done. I'm done losing money, man. I'm not going to make any money, but my goal is to not lose any more money. And I'll start over soon. What do we think about Grayscale? Do we think Grayscale is going to go back to the low? I think a lot of us are at the point where we don't even care anymore. Yeah, I know, but dude, losing all your money is the worst feeling in the world. And like, I don't want to go back there. So at some point, we're gonna bounce. I don't know where that is, and I'm not gonna try and tell you where it is. Because how do we know we don't have a wick here, and then we go back and fill the wick again at 80K? You know? It's a dangerous game, and I do know the chat. I know some of you guys are gonna make a lot of money on this shit, but I'm not. But I don't want to lose any money either. So we'll get through this. The hardest part is gonna be watching the coins go back up. But then if we get stuck, that's it. But we don't even know if it's gonna do this. It might be like 2018 where it just does nothing. I think that would be the best case scenario for me, where the coins just don't do anything. This way there's no FOMO, you know? But I think we can all come to an agreement that if Bitcoin is still below 100K and it's February or March, that's about to be what happened back here. Because I remember back here, I made a price and I said, yo, we got to get over this and it's bullish. And we just got over it. I don't remember what it was. I think it was this. Yeah, I think it was the 618 retracement. We barely broke it and we barely broke the moving average. And it was like, oh my God, we're going to the moon. And then we not only went straight down from there, or we never not only returned to that price, never again, but we went straight down consecutively. But that's usually what happens. You hit the moving average. I think you hit it here too. And from this July of 2018, Ethereum went straight down. That's why, you know what? I'm talking myself out of it. Because we don't know what's going to happen, chat. That's why. Like in 2018, Ethereum turned bearish from May, and it was just unlimited suffocation. I remember this second bounce because I remember looking at Bitcoin and I said, yo, Bitcoin bounced, but nothing else bounced. And that was when I kind of knew, like, all right, I'm getting out. That's why the second bounce, whenever it comes, it could give you a chance to get out. But if it doesn't come, I didn't realize the ETH coins were still going down. I thought they bounced. Why is Wojak still going down? And what about GameStop? Oh, yo, why are they selling all the shit coins today? Dude, the selling might not be done. I don't know. Good luck. This is what I'm talking about though. Like you guys that want to fucking gamble on a bottom where there's no bottom. I don't know. I can't do it though. I'm out. I'm too old for that shit. Might gamble on sports tomorrow. All right, chat. Nub. Oh yeah, where's Nub? Wasn't there a guy in the yeah, even Nubcat did a 10x, man. Nah, Nub's holding up pretty well. What was the other one? Oh, what about Pengu? Yeah, that's a good one. Is it below 1? Oh, fucking A. Fucking A, Jared. Yeah, it's over. SPX is a good one too. Yeah, that's it. My plan is to just survive until spring, and if I can survive until spring, I should be fine. The only reason it's hard to survive right now is because there's a lot of uncertainty. Like, oh, well, what if it bounces? Then if it bounces, it's like, is it still a bull market or not? But like, that's why I'm saying if it's March and we're still down here, you know it's about to go down. Because the bottom was in November back here. Our bottom should be in October if the 4-year cycle simulation is going to continue. So we actually got to start going down earlier. And like I said before in the beginning of the live stream, it also makes sense to bottom here because the initial move down is usually 50% of the bottom, or the bottom is usually 50% of the move down. So it kind of makes sense for us to bottom here. I hope. But I'm not telling you that the bottom is in because I don't know. And it's not the bottom. It would just be a short-term bottom. But historically speaking, it kind of lines up. The first move down is about a 2x from the low. So if the low is 40K, then the bottom should be forming soon. Now, if we go lower, people are going to say, you said the bottom is in. There's no bottom, chat. There is no bottom. But if the bear market thesis is going to be correct, not the bear market thesis, but like the strategy, if you will, then this should be the bottom somewhere in here. But it's a bear market strategy. It's not a bull market. The bear market strategy calls for a chop over the next 3 months. And then the Gaussian channel should turn red. And then that's it. Which makes sense because if we do nothing until March, you only got 7 months to go down and form the low. That kind of makes sense, honestly. So from April to October, I don't know, it's all rubbish. All right, chat, that'll be it for today. Would you FOMO if this turns out to be a giant head fake and get... If Bitcoin gets over the all-time high, I'll put my money back in altcoins. Until then, I'm not doing shit. I don't care to trade the bounce. I don't. Because I'm not a trader. But when I look at this, if I were going to trade the bounce, I think Fartcoin would be... Fartcoin is holding up so well. No, I guess... Oh no, it's going down now. It was holding up. Yeah, see, I haven't been... I didn't look at any of the shitcoins today, so I don't know. It just made a new low. But it was holding up. Alright, chat, we'll leave it there. At some point, there's going to be a big bounce. I don't know where it is. But as always, none of this is financial advice. I do appreciate the super chats. I appreciate all the support. Yeah, my channel is growing, believe it or not. Where my subs are at a new all-time high. I've never had this many subs. Like I've been stuck with no growth. Nice, they just unsubbed. Oh wait, is it fake? I was about to say every time someone subbots my channel, we go down after that. So if we get stuck at 100K and then someone subbots my channel, you'll know it's a wrap. But yeah, if you haven't already, check out the food channel. Posted the link in the chat. The Vij for 5 says, check DMTR, hundreds of thousands monthly in buybacks they're doing, real world utility. I appreciate the 5. DMTR, didn't that coin do like 100x off the bull run low? Yeah, I remember this scam. It did a 30x. And then it did another, yeah, I think this coin did 100x off the low. Oh, almost 90. Yeah, here, look, it topped in March again. Yeah, this coin is still bearish, man. I've had this chart for God knows how long. But you can see from the all-time high down to the low, you hit the 382 and then it got rejected. So as long as it's below 37, it's bearish. In my opinion. I don't care if Jesus is the CEO. As long as it's below 37, it's bearish. If you can get over 37, then you could say reversal. But you may get one more pump if it gets stuck a third time at the 382, this is 1, 2. If it gets stuck a third time, it's kind of going to do something like this, where it holds the same price and then it just goes straight down. So I would say below 37 is bearish, above 37 is bullish. If you can get over 37, it should pump to 13. And then if you can get over 13, it should go to the moon. But any lower than 37 and it's bearish, in my opinion. But I appreciate the 5, man. Whiff is going to 0. Nah, it just never sold off, so now it's selling off. It held up for so long. Alright, chat, we'll leave it there. So enjoy your day. We'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the super chats. None of this is financial advice. And bye.